you remember, in previous sessions we have covered a you can say a water conflict between two states, that is Telangana and Andhra. So we have already covered that, and in that session also I have said you that this water conflict or water issue is a such issue that it can raise third world war. So the other the first two world war already, the third world war, if there will be any, it will be due to water issue only. So various international you can say country and even in India various states are facing this water issue, and the main reason behind is simple, water sharing, कि किसको कितना पानी मिलना चाहिए, उसके हिसाब से 4% मिलना चाहिए तो 4% नहीं मिलता है, या फिर जिस स्टेट में वो रिवर लोकेटेड होता है उस दैट स्टेट मेक सम डैम ओवर दैट रिवर, so that hinder or you can say that stop the water amount of water going to the other state. So these are the some issues we will read. Although the topic or headline is Iran Taliban issue, basically it is Iran and Afghanistan issue. It is a issue between two states, which we'll read in little detail, and the name of the river is Helmand, that also will read. Okay, next topic what we are going to read, what is adverse possession. Okay, this is related to right to property. You might have studied that earlier. Right to property was part of fundamental right, but what it was removed from fundamental right by amendment. So it is related to one of the report which has been given by Law Commission, that is 22nd Law Commission has given some of the report regarding property right, and Law Commission has said we need not to alter any. They have had a discussion and they said that whatever previous law is there in regard to property, that need not to be altered and it should be as it is. So that's why it is in the news. Next topic is refugees. I hope evening session whosoever is attending, they are reading internal security and they know that this refugees or you can say illegal migrants, these are our real security threat to India or internal security threat to India. So it is in the case of Mizoram, and you can say you might be heard that so many drugs and other things are getting imported with this refugees and all. So that's an issue. So which we are already going to read. Next is cyclone Biparjoy. 15 districts of Gujarat in danger, or you can say red alert has been issued in 15 districts of Gujarat due to this cyclone Biparjoy. So that we will discuss on which ocean this cyclone is there and all. Next is Kakwa-Boka Dam crisis. Again, this is related to Russia-Ukraine. The war or the tension is going on between these two countries, you can say. And you might have already read about NATO and Cold War and all. That is, or you are going to read an international relations subject. So there, Russia versus Ukraine, you might know that war is going on. And this dam had got damaged. This Kakwa-Boka Dam is got damaged, and it is in the news. Russia is saying that it was damaged by Ukraine intentionally, and same allegation Ukraine is raising over Russia that Russia intentionally attack on their dam. So it's something blame game, but ultimately who is suffering? People, because they will get washed away by the flood. Last is what is Kabach. Hope you might have heard a tragic accident that has been taken in Odisha, and almost around 300 people died in that accident. So at that time, there was a viral video of Railway Minister Ashwani Vaishnav going on, and that video saying that every railway should have a Suraksha Kavach so that it can avoid the accident. So why it was not there in this case, or can it be possible that every accident can be stopped by this Suraksha Kavach, or what is this Kavach? It is Indian made or means you can say made in India or something. So that we'll discuss in detail. So let's start one by one. The first topic is Iran-Taliban water conflict. It is related to, if we talk about subject, it is an international relations subject, that is a GS paper 2. Okay. So let's start with the topic. What is that? And what is the cause of dispute? Any water dispute, if we talk about any water dispute, be it between two states of India or any between two countries of international country, the water dispute is very simple. Suppose a river is located in country A, and this river water is also going to country B, like Jhelum river water. It is also going to Pakistan and it originate in India, or you can say from India to Pakistan. Similarly, suppose it is going in country B. Now what happens? Suppose there is an agreement between these two countries, and according to agreement, country A say that we will give you 4% of our river water. Now what happens? Suppose there is a shortage of rainfall, or suppose this country want to produce electricity, country A, and build a dam over this river, and at that, in that scenario, suppose the water giving amount of this reduces to 3% or this reduces to 2%. In such case, country B raise alarm, or you can say country B start saying that we are not getting the amount of water which has been promised by country A. तो सिंपल इशू यही है, वाटर डिस्प्यूट का आप कहीं भी देखेंगे तो यही इशू है, इतना अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर मुझे मिलना चाहिए था जो कि मुझे नहीं मिल रहा है और वो मुझे मिलना चाहिए। अब बात ये होती है कि कंट्री बी तो इस तरह का ब्लेम करता है कि नहीं मिल रहा है ये, बट you have to think according to country A also, because they will also work on development point way A. They will also think that their people should first get water because that river is located in that country. Suppose a river Yamuna is located in Haryana and Haryana and Delhi is fighting for water. So Haryana will think that their farmer irrigation priority should be their first priority, because the Haryana government is going to get vote from Haryanvi. Okay, so that's the issue, that they first prioritize their people. They do not think about other state or something. So same issue is there here also. And one more, if you talk about, because these two countries are somewhat related to Taliban, you might be know about a terrorist organization, or you can say that our organization which is ruling over Afghanistan. So issue is something grave in you can say, because once this Iran is raising issue, they have a border dispute issue also. If they two are a border district, then border issue is also there. So some you can say there are some you can say border exchange of firing and all has been taken place due to this issue. So that's why it is in the news. So let's read some details as well. But this is the only issue which we have. Afghanistan and Iran have a long-standing dispute over sharing of river water. और अगर आप किसी भी वाटर डिस्प्यूट को पढ़ोगे ना, you will see the term using long dispute. Okay, होता क्या है, चलो हल्ला हुआ, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा दे दिया, 4% का था, हल्ला होने लगा, चलो दे दिया. Again they will in meanwhile again after 1 month or 2 months again they will start reducing, because उनको भी तो अपनी जरूरतें हैं. तो और water are limited, ठीक है, पानी की जो है वो एक तरह से limitations है. So that's why this issue arises. The Helmand River, the name of the river, this you can note it down, कि किस river के लिए dispute हो रहा है. तो name of the river which is Helmand River, और Afghanistan longest river, originate near Kabul and flows through the desert area before reaching the Lake Hamun on the Afghanistan-Iran border. So this originate in Afghanistan. So that's what I have said you, that it originated in country A and flows till country B. That's why this issue arises. Lake Hamun, once a vast wetland, has experienced significant drying up. Okay, so again an important point to note it down. What I have said that generally this water treaty does not you can say stand for long because of this rainfall and every other factor. Because of this rainfall and other factor, that river itself get dried up, and if river is getting dried up, how that water will be getting supplied. Okay, so that's the reason here. So you have to note it down according to prelims point of view, name of the river, name of the lake, and from where it originates. The issue, you know that. The dispute between Afghanistan and Iran arises from the unequal sharing of river water. So that's what I have said. The issue is simple. Iran contend that Afghanistan water management practice, including dams and water and control, have reduced the flow of water into Lake Hamun. So the Lake Hamun, which is in the side of Iran, you can say, the Helmand River water going to Lake Hamun, the amount of water which should go to Lake Hamun is reducing day by day. You can say that. Afghanistan may argue that they need to utilize water resources for its own development and agriculture, leading to conflicting interests. That's what I have said you, that the country A will always say that I have to look into my development as well. Now, if I'll provide you all the water, what my people will do? They have also irrigation. We also need to develop, or we also have an electricity requirement. In such scenario, if unequal sharing of water is there, so it's not in my hand. If I would have surplus of water, suppose there is a plenty of rainfall in river Helmand River, around Helmand River, so at that time or in that scenario, Afghanistan can supply water to Iran. Same with India and Pakistan regarding Jhelum River Treaty. Same with, you can say, Delhi and Haryana regarding Yamuna River. So all this issue always depends on the amount of rainfall that river receives or that area receives in that case. Okay, so that's the important point which we are reading in this. Tehran and Kabul, that the previous slide which we are looking into, it was a river related slide. Now we are rooting a political blame game, because once there is a you can say dispute between two countries or two states, thereafter comes the political blame game. So since there is a government, that is Taliban government, you can say, Iran accused Afghanistan of violating its water right. Iran claimed that Afghanistan has not been providing agreed upon amount of water. Okay, Iran stated that it received only 4% of its share of the river water in the previous year. Iran believed that Afghanistan actions are in violation of 1973 treaty. Same thing Pakistan say about India in Jhelum river water. Okay, Afghanistan reject. Okay, so country B claiming, now country A claim. Afghanistan denied violating Iran's water right. Every time same statement you will see. Kabul argues that decrease in river water volume is a result of natural climatic condition. That is, हम क्या करें भैया, पानी ही नहीं आ रही है, रेनफॉल ही नहीं है. So what can we do? Okay, सर, beyond its control. तो ये इसके कंट्रोल से बाहर है. बारिश कितनी होगी, कितने अमाउंट में होगी, that is out of control. Okay, so concern over dam construction and water management project. Iran expresses concern over Afghanistan construction of dam reservoir, which I have already explained. Next is previous positive relation. Okay, since Iran also have some Taliban approach, so they have a good relation prior to this. Prior to the Taliban captures of Kabul August 2021, Tehran and cultivated good tie with the group, and both Iran and Taliban opposes the presence of US and NATO. You might be aware that earlier in Afghanistan, US forces were residing, and once US forces left Afghanistan, Taliban recaptured over Afghanistan. Earlier also there was a presence of Taliban in Afghanistan. Pragmatic approach towards Taliban government. Although Iran has not formally recognized the Taliban government, but they have a good relation because they are border state. As said by Manmohan Singh, you can change your friend but not your neighbor. आप अपने पड़ोसी को चेंज नहीं कर सकते. Why India or even Pakistan sometimes always try to tie up. Okay, although there is a conflict, someone comes there, the blast is there, and we face that conflict. But still the political leader or political acumen, they want to collaborate because they are neighbors, and we cannot change our immediate neighbor. Once both two neighbors, you can say, meet each other, so they have a enough exposure of economic approach, you can say, trade approach, you can say. So all these things get hampered once two neighbors, you can say, quarrel among themselves, or ladai hoti hai un dono ke beech mein. So that's the statement. Since the Taliban seized the power, there have been a repeated incident at the border between Iran and Afghanistan. So this, what I have said, one of the reason that Iran and Afghanistan facing border issues. Tehran had previously received the Taliban delegations and discussed agreement on the water right, but the Taliban now appear unwilling to honor those agreements. So these are the important points you have to study. Okay, in this Iran water, you have to just name the name of the rivers and the water issues. Okay, so that's all in this. Moving to the next topic, that is what is adverse position. Okay, see, it is possession, that is land position. Okay, actually what has happened, it is also related to GS paper 2, and that is, you can say, polity. There is a report, law commission, 22nd law commission has given a report, and it has stated that 22nd law commission has stated that there is no need to change any scenario of previous land rules. The जो पुराना land rules था उसको change करने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो क्या adverse position is based on the idea that land should not be left vacant but instead put to use. Okay, so you have to understand the meaning of this word. अब आप जाते होंगे कहीं पे तो कई सारे जमीन आपको खाली मिलते होंगे, चाहे वो प्राइवेट जमीन हो या फिर सरकारी जमीन हो. अगर कोई जमीन खाली है और उसका यूज नहीं हो रहा है तो एडवर्स पोजीशन का लॉ वहां पे लागू हो जाता है. According to adverse position, it states that if the land is not in use, it should have been used or it should be used judiciously. तो इसके regarding law क्या था? If any land that is not in use, that is private land, it is a private land, किसी आदमी का अपना property है, and it is not, it is used by someone for 12 years. सपोज कि 12 साल से कोई एक व्यक्ति उस लैंड को यूज कर रहा था और देयर इज नो क्लेमेंट, कोई क्लेम नहीं कर रहा है कि मेरा लैंड है, और वो 12 साल से उसको यूज कर रहा था, इन सच केस दैट ऑनर ऑफ द लैंड बिकम्स वन हु इज यूजिंग दैट लैंड। मैं फिर से समझाता हूं, देयर इज अ लॉ एंड दैट लॉ स्टेट दैट कि इफ एनी लैंड इज नॉट इन यूज दैट शुड बी यूज, उसका यूज होना चाहिए, उसका यूज होना चाहिए, दैट स्टेट द लॉ। अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस, इफ लैंड इज अ प्राइवेट लैंड and someone is using that land judiciously from last 12 years, so that land will belong to that person who is using, no matter the land belongs to whom. If someone is coming in 13 years and saying नहीं ये मेरा है, अब 12 साल में उसने कुछ ना कुछ उस पर काम कर लिया. Similarly, if it is a government property, the tenure is 20 years. So if a land that is a government property, if someone is residing on that land, he is making his house and everything for 20 years and he is residing for 20 years, and someday government come that ना ये तो सरकारी जमीन है, अब हमें दे दो. In that case, law say that जो ये 20 years से जो बंदा वहां रहा था वो लैंड उसका होगा, ना कि सरकार का होगा. So that is adverse possessions law. यही एक लॉ है, एंड ये लॉ एक पुराना लॉ है, ठीक है, बहुत पुराना लॉ है, इवन 18th सेंचुरी का ये लॉ है. सो दैट लॉ, देयर वाज अ डिस्कशन टू स्ट्राइक डाउन दैट लॉ, बट लॉ कमीशन हैज स्टेटेड दैट कि ये सही लॉ है, इसको स्ट्राइक करने की या खत्म करने की जरूरत नहीं है. एंड वन मोर थिंग आई वांट टू ऐड हियर, in case of adverse position, if someone is using that law and a period is less than 12 years, suppose, or less than 20 years in case of government case, then the honor to prove that land belongs to whom is on claimant. जो बाद में आके क्लेम करता है ना कि मेरा लैंड है, मेरी जमीन है, उसके ऊपर वो ऑनरशिप चला जाता है, उसको प्रूव करना पड़ेगा. जो उस लैंड पे रह रहा है उसको कुछ भी प्रूव नहीं करना है, क्योंकि जो उस लैंड पे रह रहा है उसने कहीं ना कहीं बिजली टैक्स दिया होगा, पानी टैक्स दिया होगा, सब कुछ दिया होगा. तो इफ समवन इज कमिंग सपोज आफ्टर 10 years and is saying that ये मेरा जमीन है, तो इट इज ऑन, onus is on him to prove that. So it is all about adverse possessions law, and this law which is coming from 18th century has been, you can say, given green signal by law commission or 22nd law commission, and currently the, you can say, chairman of this law commission is Rituraj Awasthi, Justice Rituraj Awasthi, retired Justice Rituraj Awasthi, and he has given a green signal. Okay, it refers to the hostile positions of a property that is continuously or uninterrupted and peaceful. तो अगर कोई जमीन खाली है, उस पे अगर किसी ने अपनी खेती करनी शुरू कर दी, कोई यूज करने लगा, तो ये जो है लॉ वो काम आता है. So that's what it is written. Moving to the next, the rational and adverse positions is that title land should be not be in doubt an extended period, allowing someone to make use of ideal land to benefit society. That's what I am saying. कि अगर कोई लैंड आइडियल है, नो वन इज क्लेमिंग दैट लैंड टू बेनिफिट द सोसाइटी, दैट लैंड शुड बी यूज्ड बाय समवन. और इफ समवन इज यूजिंग it for 12 years, if it is a private land, that land belongs to him. If someone is using for 20 years and if it is a government land, that land belongs to him. The protection of person who considered occupant as the owner is consideration. Law Commission report, the Law Commission report recently reasoned that adverse position prevent the original title holder from re-entering the land after a long passage of time. So वही बात मैं कर रहा हूं कि अगर कोई पुराना ऑनर है, वो 13 साल बाद 14 साल बाद अपने लैंड में आना चाहता है, तो जो ये जो मतलब दिस लॉ इज दैट इज एडवर्स पोजिशन लॉ, उसको प्रिवेंट करता है वहां पे आने में. The concept adverse position can be tracked back to the Hammurabi code. So if someone want to get adverse position law कहां से आया है, तो जो मैंने कहा कि बहुत ही पुराना है, it is from Hammurabi code. Okay, it is a historical basis in the development of a statement of limitations and action for land recovery in England. The statute of Westminster in 1275 was first such statute which have been a property limitation act in 1874. तो ये जो एडवर्स पोजीशन लॉ है, ये दो लॉ को मिला के बनाया जाता है. एक लॉ है प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ लिमिटेशन एक्ट 1874 एंड Hammurabi code which is a way back written. Okay, introduction of limitation law in India. The first attempt to introduce limitation law in India was act in 1851. इंडिया में इसको 1859 में किया गया और फिर उसके बाद लिमिटेशन एक्ट पास किया गया 1963 में. सो इंडिया में एडवर्स पोजीशन लॉ अभी एप्लीकेबल है एंड लॉ कमीशन ने इसको ग्रीन सिग्नल दे दिया है. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी हैव टू रीड इन दिस. द पॉइंट व्हिच आई हैव सेड कि बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ किसके ऊपर है? द बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ एडवर्स पोजीशन शिफ्टेड टू द पर्सन क्लेमिंग इट while the true owner only needed to prove their title to the land. The time period for adverse positions under the Article 64, 65 and 112 Act. Private land positions is 12 years. Private land के केस में 12 year है, and if government land it is written 20 years दिया है, 20 years है इसमें. Okay, तो ये आपको ध्यान रखना है. So that's all in this. Supreme Court also agreed on this. तो यही एक है, बाकी आप पूरा डिटेल में एक बार पढ़ लीजिए. It can be important question for mains. ठीक है कि एडवर्स पोजीशन लॉ क्या है या लॉ कमीशन का क्या रिपोर्ट इसके ऊपर है. सो यू कैन रीड इन डिटेल सो दैट यू कैन गो थ्रू दिस. ओके, मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, refugee influx in Mizoram. As you know that one of the northeastern state is burning, that is you can say Mizoram. No, sorry, Manipur is burning. So government is somewhat alarming about other northeastern state, and one of them is Mizoram. इसमें क्या है, it is increasing refugee influx into Mizoram. ये जो है, ये you know that India in internal security, India from long back is facing threat about internal security, and it is you can say related to refugee or you can say illegal migrant. Okay, Mizoram has witnessed a rise in the number of refugees from Myanmar. कहाँ से आता है, तो Myanmar, Bangladesh and Manipur, impacting the region's internal security. अब देखो होता क्या है, what happens if some refugees is coming to that state? First and foremost thing, the culture and ethnicity going to get disturbed. Since this Manipur, Mizoram, these are a highly ethnic state because they are culturally tribal people live there. So in that scenario, culturally so many tribes live there. If you know that why Manipur is burning, it is a war between tribes. That is Meitei tribe. I hope in previous session I have already discussed that Meitei tribe is majority there and they are fighting with all other tribes. Okay, so same thing is here also. Since these are a very culturally sensitive state, and if any illegal migrant from Myanmar and Bangladesh start residing there, in that scenario, it is likely that some class would break down because of cultural issue as well. So this state is such. If we talk about numbers, there is estimated around 8,000 illegal migrants or you can say refugees staying in you can say Manipur. The state government has permitted entry to individual from Myanmar, but with the requirement of proper registration. अब होता क्या है कि refugees को थोड़ा सा shelter देने के लिए एक international pressure भी होता है on every country. कि जैसे like suppose कई सारे US में भी refugees को जो है shelter दिया जाता है. So in same way in India also, there is a pressure from international organization that refugees should be given shelter. In such case, there is a proper registration mechanism and refugees should stay in a camp. उनको कहा जाता है कि आप एक कैंप में रहिए और उसी कैंप में आपको रहना है. But what they do after you can say that what they do generally after a registration, or they also do false registration by giving some money and all, and they do not stay in camp, the dedicated camp which is for them. They do not stay in the camp. They start living with some of their relatives or start making some fake passport or some fake identity card like Aadhaar and all, and they show themselves as the resident of that state, although they are refugee, but they show them resident of that state. अब किसी भी state के पास जो है वो resources limited है. So if someone refugees or illegal migrant start using your resources or the resources of the state, in such scenario there is a chances of a clash between refugees and the original resident of the state. So that's why government is raising red alarm over this. The state government has permitted. क्या regions हो सकते हैं इसके point wise है. पहला point है cultural clash. There is a chance of a cultural clash. Scarcity of local resource. क्योंकि local resource कमी है. अब अगर उतना ही local resource कमी है या we can say it is limited. So if that can be used by the native of that state, so that could be judicially utilized. If that is used by the illegal migrant, in that case there can be scarcity of the resource. Positive and negative economic impact. Positive impact ये हो सकता है कि लेबर फोर्स इंक्रीज होगा तो इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी बढ़ेगी, बट नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा कि लोकल जो इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी है उसको हैम्पर किया जाएगा. इन्वायरमेंट इम्प्लीकेशन सच एज डिफॉरेस्टेशन, इफ दे आर मेकिंग देयर होम एंड ऑल, so they will use that land degradations and increase in pressure on natural resource due to need for housing and infrastructure. So these are the 4-5 regions illegal migrant or refugee is hampering local areas or local people. Next is regarding this, the previous concern is a basic concern, but the major concern is the smuggling threat. Since they are coming from Myanmar and Bangladesh, so they smuggle drugs and all. Narcotic smuggling on India and exploitation of guides. The guides, or you can say the guidelines which is issued to them, they do not follow that. Concern have been raised about the presence of guides learning refugees through the dens of jungles for South Mizoram, which could be exploited for smuggling arms and narcotics. So these are the some of the concern. What are the way forward? India should strengthen its security, or you can say border security, point one. Second is collaborative effort, where the police of the state, sometimes the police of the state is involved with those refugees and they do not report to center agency. So police of the state and center agency should work in coordination so that such type of threat can be minimized. Robust registration and screening process. Registration should be fair and partial. It should be robust. Screening should be, and they should be live in the dedicated area which is given to them. They should not means become local of that state, so that state is facing issue. Enhanced law of enforcement, and for them there should be enhanced law of enforcement so that they can be tracked, checked, and can be put into you can say increase the presence of law and enforcement agencies such as the Assam Rifle, state police, border adjustment area, so that illegal refugee issues can be checked. So this was the important basic point. है क्या? Simple है. Every country should think of their security, or every state should have a you can say utmost right on their resources. So why I will allow? Suppose if in my houses I have, why should I allow everyone to use my house's resource? So simple point is that although there is an international pressure, but government should also think that their country, their priority is the first. Even the first topic which we are reading about water resources, there also what I have said, that every state is claiming that water, we also need water, that state also need for irrigation. So if they have not plenty of water, how will they supply to other states? Similarly, in this case, if we still do not have a job, how will we allow the refugee to settle? Even in case of Citizenship Amendment Act, if you have read about polity, there is a CA Act जो recently 2019 में आया था. In that case also it has been raised alarm that कि इंडिया में लोगों को जॉब नहीं है, अगर हम पाकिस्तान से हिंदू को इंडिया में सेटल करने लग जाएंगे तो how will we give them job and other thing. The issue is very simple, but since these issues are related to society, or these issues are related to, you can say, a larger sense, so they can be asked in UPSC and can be asked in mains. All these three topics we have covered till. First topic is water resource, second is land position issues, कि किसका लैंड होना चाहिए, कई जगह लैंड खाली होता है, क्लेमेंट कौन है, ऑनर कौन है, so that issue we have raised. And third is the refugees or illegal migrant issue. So all three are very important issues. Next is cyclone Biparjoy. Biparjoy is a term used by Bangladesh. This means disaster. In simple, आपको पता है कि कई सारे साइक्लोन होते हैं और हर साइक्लोन का कुछ ना कुछ नेम होता है. तो एक बिपरजॉय एक नेम है. अब इसको पढ़ते हैं कहां से ओरिजिनेट होता है. A cyclonic storm named Biparjoy has developed in Arabian Sea. Generally, most of the cyclone originate in Bay of Bengal because of their location and all. But this Biparjoy cyclone has originated from Arabian Sea, and you can say 15 district of Gujarat is in danger. A cyclone are rapid inward circulation. A basic about cyclone is given here that you can read from yourself. कि cyclone होता क्या है, कितने type का cyclone होता है, what are the type of cyclone. So this you can read. How did cyclone Biparjoy gets its name? If we talk about what I have already said, Biparjoy was suggested by Bangladesh, and the new word means disaster or calamity. Worldwide, there are 6 regions specialized in meteorological centers and 5 in the regional tropical warning center. So they generally issue the warning. IAM is one of the 6 provide tropical cyclone and storm surge, you can say, and 13 member country under the Economic and Social Commissions for Asia Pacific, including Bangladesh, India, Iran, Maldives. तो ये आपके prelims के fact है. This is very important कि IMD है क्या, कौन cyclone का warning issue करता है, who is the responsible one for issuing the cyclone warning, कितने members की committee होती है. So this you can note down once you will get this PDF after session. तो ये चीज है. ओके सो जो साइक्लोन वेपर जो है इसमें आपको बस इतना जानना है कि कहां से ओरिजिनेट हुआ है। इन प्रीलिम्स दे कैन बी आस्क्ड दैट इट इज ओरिजिनेटेड फ्रॉम बे ऑफ बंगाल और अरबियन सी। इट इज ओरिजिनेटेड फ्रॉम अरबियन सी। From where it gets its name? It gets its name from Bangladesh, and it means disaster. Okay, so simple thing is that. Now the very important point is given here कि why there are fewer of cyclone in Arabian Sea than Bay of Bengal. कि अरबियन सी में साइक्लोन कम क्यों है और वे ऑफ बंगाल में ज्यादा क्यों है? इट्स जस्ट अबाउट अ ज्योग्राफिकल लोकेशन. Okay, so geographical and topography, the Bay of Bengal is larger and more enclosed basin compared to Arabian Sea. It has a wider area for cyclone formulations and propagation, and the Bay of Bengal is bordered by low-lying and vulnerable coastal areas. So these are the region. Ocean temperature. Cyclones require a warm ocean water as a primary source of energy. Bay of Bengal generally experience higher sea surface temperature compared to the Arabian Sea. Monsoon pattern. Bay of Bengal is influenced by the southwest monsoon, which is bring moist air and favorable condition for the cyclonic disturbances. So these are the few points written here. So all these points are important, but for you, you have to note it down as it is subject related. It is not related to current affair, but it is very important कि cyclone जो है वो बे ऑफ बंगाल में कम क्यों और ज्यादा क्यों है और अरबियन सी में कम क्यों होता है. अभी का साइक्लोन अरबियन सी में हुआ है क्योंकि उसका नाम वेपर जो है वो अरबियन सी का, दैट नेम हैज गिवन बाय बांग्लादेश. So that's the important point we have to study here. Moving to the next topic, that is Kakhovka Dam. This dam is located in Ukraine. Ukraine में, or you can say in border around Russia and Ukraine. And you might be aware that the war is going on between Russia and Ukraine. And the war region and all we have already discussed in the previous session. Just to brief you, Russia and Ukraine was part of Soviet Union. Russia plus Ukraine was earlier part of Soviet Union. In 1991, Soviet Union got disintegrated and Russia and Ukraine both become a separate country. Now this Ukraine trying to go towards NATO. NATO is a, you can say, member group that is governed by US, United States. So they are the supporter of United States, or you can say the nation which is in line with United States. But Russia, you can say, was against this, and Russia want to control over Ukraine. In such scenario, Russia is in war with Ukraine, and there are various things in danger. This dam can damage the nuclear power plant which is located. There is a largest nuclear power plant of Europe that is located in Ukraine. So they are also worried about this, and this dam also may damage that nuclear power plant. So this is the basic news, we can say that. And this dam has got damaged. Russia and Ukraine both is blaming each other. Ukraine is saying that Russia has intentionally fired over them. A missile is fired over them, and that due to that the dam got damaged. Whereas Russia is saying that Ukraine intentionally damaged its own dam. So a huge Soviet era dam and Dnipro River. The river name is Dnipro River in southern Ukraine, known as Kakhovka Dam, was breached and resulting in flooding across the war zone. तो जो war zone है जहाँ पे उन दोनों का लड़ाई हो रहा है वहां पे कहीं ना कहीं पूरा फ्लड आ गया है. कंस्ट्रक्शन ये बिल्ट हुआ था 1956 में. साइज काफी बड़ा है and supplies water to the peninsula which is Russia claims to have annexed in 2014. Provides water to the various this nuclear power plant also. This is the nuclear power plant about which I am talking. Is the largest European nuclear power plant, Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Now it is under Russia control. Reservoir capacity, the reservoir behind the dam holds approximately 18 cubic kilometer of water, a very huge. This is a great salt lake in the US state Utah. Conflicting account, Ukraine perspective. Ukraine accuses Russia for intentionally destroying the dam. So which I have already said that Russia Ukraine पे blame कर रहा है और Ukraine Russia के ऊपर blame कर रहा है. Russia perspective, Russia officially provide a contradictory explanation. Some claim dam was destroyed by Ukrainian selling. Others suggest that collapsed due to previous damage. So exact reason is not known. What could be the reason? They both are blaming each other, but ultimate sufferer will be the people of that area which is residing around that area. Or if nuclear power plant get damaged, it can be large damage. Okay. Uncertainty, the exact cause of the dam breach remains uncertain, which I have already said that कि uncertain है, पता नहीं reason क्या है. and further investigation is required to establish the precise circumstances leading to the breach. The incident occurs within the context of ongoing tensions between Russia and Ukraine, adding to complexity and understanding the situation. तो अभी complexity है इसमें, but ये potential क्या क्या नुकसान कर सकता है? What are the harm that can cause by this? So first is potential flooding. Second is you can say risk to settlement. Third is impact on, you can say, water supply at risk and fresh water dependency. So all these will be in the risk. So people will be ultimate sufferer. This dam, the nuclear power plant also can be in the risk, you can say. Nuclear safety is also in the risk. So these are the few parameters which can be under risk due to this dam damage. Okay. Next topic is what is Kavach. This Kavach can stop head-on collision between any two, you can say, train or you can say any two railway. So Kavach is an indigenously developed. So first point is it is indigenously developed, that is developed by India. Automatic train protection system by Research Design and Standard Organization RDSO. तो यहाँ पे 3 prelims fact है. First is developed by India, point 1. Second is it is developed by Research and Industrial Organization RDSO in collaboration with Indian industry. So in MCQ they can ask put the fact like this and they can ask whether it is right or wrong. It is a state-of-the-art electronic system with the safety integrity level 4. Okay, it is meant to provide protection by preventing train to pass the signal at rate which marks the danger and avoid collision. Simple सा टर्म है, अगर समझने की भाषा में समझे तो जो एंटी ब्रेकिंग सिस्टम है उसको ये ऑटोमेटिक लागू करेगा इन केस ड्राइवर मिसेस द सिग्नल. ड्राइवर को अगर सिग्नल मिसेस है और इन केस अगर इसको डेंजर थ्रेट होता है, अगर इसको कुछ ऐसा लगता है, it will automatically apply the brake. So that is a system that is we call Kavach. But वही बात है कि in case of Orissa accident there was a green signal and you can say the train, that is Coromandel Express, moved to the loop line, which is already there is a goods train already standing on the loop line. So it is a you can say mistake of signal. The signal mistake was there. Either signal should be not green or the loop line which was open for Coromandel Express. You can say the train was coming like this. This is a signal. This signal was a green, and then this train was given a loop line allowed. So this was a wrong step. So who did this? Whether signalman has done a step, so that will be after thorough investigation and all. But yes, this Kavach is a very would be a beneficial, because in India we have seen so many, you can say, accident and disastrous accidents, we can say, but it is still not implemented at every railway, or you can say on the all trains it is not implemented. So that's what the demand of opposition leader, that it should be implemented at every places, so that anything which can be stopped by this Kavach can be stopped, so that you can say the life threatening can be stopped. It activates the train braking system, which I've already said. The system also relays SOS, that is emergency message during emergency situation, and added feature is that centralized live monitoring of the train. So it has all the facilities, but it is not implemented on every station and every train. So that should be the priority of the government. A complete article about this is given. So it is a scientific article. You can go through this, but according to UPSC, you should just read what is this system is all about. Okay. Now coming to the MCQ part, some of the MCQ is related to today's current affair. Okay. The first question is just based on anti-braking system itself. The question is that it is an automatic protection system developed since 2012 under the name of Train Collision Avoidance System, TCAS. So just now you have studied this, it is the right one. It is an indigenously developed technology of India, so it is also right one. So the correct answer would be both 1 and 2. Moving to the next question, which of the following countries are involved in the long-standing dispute of water sharing from the Helmand River? Just now we have studied, and the correct answer would be Iran and Afghanistan. Moving to the next, with reference to Ahilya Holkar, consider the following statement. Ahmednagar is a state in your district that has been renamed as Ahilya Holkar in Maharashtra. So that's why it is in the news. एक जगह है महाराष्ट्र में, इसका नाम अहिल्या होलकर रखा जा रहा है, इसीलिए ये न्यूज में है. and she ruled over the Malwa kingdom. The correct one. The most notable contribution of Ahilya Bai was the renovation of repair of formation of Mahalakshmi temple. No, she renovated Kashi Vishwanath. तो ये काशी विश्वनाथ टेम्पल विच इज इन बनारस, उसको इसने रिनोवेट किया था, महालक्ष्मी टेम्पल को रिनोवेट नहीं किया था. तो सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग, फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज राइट. द रेफरेंस ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन इज दैट इट इज रिलेटेड टू द रीनेमिंग ऑफ अ स्टेट इन महाराष्ट्र, सॉरी यू कैन से डिस्ट्रिक्ट इन महाराष्ट्र. सो ओनली वन इज द करेक्ट वन. Moving to the next, Telangana has recently completed 9th anniversary of its statehood. Consider the following statement about Telangana. It comprised of South and Southeast Telugu speaking regions and princely state of Hyderabad. Correct. In 1945, a communist supporter rebellion broke out in Telangana against the prevailing Jagirdari system. I hope you know about Jagirdari system. There was a revenue collection and that is Jagirdari. Jameen ka jo hota tha, Jagirdari and Jamindari. These are the two systems you might have heard in history, or when you will read modern history, you will learn about this. So in Jamindari, land is given to a Jamindar and he used to control over everything. In Jagirdari, an officer is appointed by Britishers who is called as Jagir, and this officer used to go and collect the land. So Jagirdari system, the officer is appointed. In Jamindari system, land is given to someone who is called as a Jamindar. So it is the right one. Second one is also right one. Operation Polo was known to take control over Hyderabad admission. Again, Operation Polo is the right one. Again, this one is the right one. So all three statement. इस तरह का ही क्वेश्चन इस बार यूपीएससी में पूछा गया है. Only one, only two, only three. So you have knowledge of, should be having knowledge of all three statement to making the correct answer. You can read in details about if any terms you have not understood. We have given the details, so you can go through that after session. Next is with reference to salt caverns. Consider the following statement. ये एक साइंटिफिक है जिससे कि यूज किया जाता है. They are used for stored liquid fuels and natural gas in various parts of the world. So correct. They are considered suitable for storing compressed air and hydrogen. Rajasthan, with bulk of requisite salt formation in India, is seen as the most conducive for the developing salt cavern with steady storage facility. So these are the some question in this is all 1, 2, and 3 are the correct one. With reference to minimum support price, I hope you know about this. Every farmer want a minimum support price on the all the crops. The question asked is, it is announced by union government on the recommendation of Commission for Agriculture Cost and Price. Yes, right one. इसके recommendation पे होता है और इसी के recommendation को जो है स्वामीनाथन report, a very famous report, has been given to that which has not been recommended finally. Completely not recommend किया गया है. Pulses are not included in the list of crops for MSP. They are announced in the beginning of harvesting season. Pulses जो है वो included होता है, ऐसा नहीं कि pulses included नहीं है. So second statement is wrong, you can say. ठीक है, तो एक ही स्टेटमेंट है दोनों. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि हार्वेस्टिंग सीजन के बिगिनिंग में होता है, ये गवर्नमेंट की अपनी पॉलिसी होती है, गवर्नमेंट अनाउंस अकॉर्डिंगली. सो सेकंड एंड थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग, ओनली द फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज राइट अकॉर्डिंग. सो ओनली वन स्टेटमेंट इज राइट. With reference to liquidity of banking system, I hope you know about liquidity, that is money in circulation. It refers to readily available cash. So bank need short term and business financial needs, right? The system liquidity said to be deficit if the bank is net borrower to the Reserve Bank of India. A very important line is that the system of liquidity is said to be deficit if the bank is a net borrower to Reserve Bank of India. So again in this also both 1 and 2 is the correct. If bank is a lender to RBI, then surplus. If net borrower to RBI, then in that case it is called as a deficit. अगर वो RBI को पैसा दे रहा है तो उस केस में सरप्लस में है, तभी तो पैसा दे रहा है. अगर वो पैसा ले रहा है RBI से अपने काम को चलाने के लिए तो डिफिसिट में है. सिंपल सी फंडा है. ठीक है, तो ये चीज है इसमें. Which of the agency has launched Jupiter IC Moons Explorer mission? Okay, so the question is asked, IC Explorers missions पे क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है and the correct answer is European Space Agency. Okay, it is mission related to Jupiter. तो Jupiter पे life खोजा जा रहा है, the same as Mars, as various space agencies finding life on Mars. Similarly, European Space Agency is finding life on Jupiter. Consider the following pairs. So which pair is correctly matched? Tiger endangered, African cheetah vulnerable, snow leopard critically and endangered. Okay, so two pairs are correctly matched. So you can see the correct match in the return. So only two pairs are correctly matched. African cheetah is a vulnerable. tiger endangered, and snow leopard is a vulnerable. Which of the following statement are regarding the Madden-Julian oscillations? It is again related to geography. It is an eastward moving system near equator. Okay. Second point is it has a periodic of 30-60 days. Its presence over the Indian Ocean during monsoon helps bring good rainfall over the Indian Ocean. So only three statements. So all three statements in this case are correct. If we see the explanation, Madden oscillations is an oceanic atmospheric phenomena which affects the weather activity across the globe. It brings major fluctuations and tropical weather weekly on monthly 18. The MGO is characterized as a pulsating disturbances moving eastward near the equator, consisting of a cloud, rainfall, winds, and pressure. So this you will be discussed in when you read core geography. There it will be discussed in detail. Last question of the day: how many following statements true regarding the Commission of Railway Safety? It comes under the administrative control of Ministry of Railway. No, it comes under the administrative control of Ministry of Civil Aviation. अभी जब उड़ीसा में एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो इट हैज बीन सेड दैट कि रेलवे का खुद का सारा कुछ नहीं है, जो रेलवे मिनिस्टर है वो आईटी मिनिस्टर भी है. तो सिमिलरली ये जो है द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कंट्रोल ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रेलवे कम्स अंडर सिविल एविएशन. इट इज हेडक्वार्टर इन लखनऊ. तो सेकंड पॉइंट इज राइट. This authority is responsible for investigating serious train accident in the country. Third point is also right. So only two statement is right. First one is the wrong. Okay, how many following statements are regarding? ठीक है, ये तो वही है. So that's all. You can read. We'll share you this PDF and you can read in details. Some of the maths question is also attached with it. So you can complete that question and submit to us. We will evaluate and give back you the answer. Any question or anything you want to ask? हाँ बताइए.
अभी जैसे रिसेंटली
हाँ
जो हमारे कंट्री के दो मेजर मिलिट्री एकेडमीज है,
हाँ
वहाँ से आज जो कैडेट्स थे वो पास आउट हुए फॉर इंडियन आर्मी. उसमें कुछ अमाउंट पीपल फ्रॉम
हाँ, जैसे कि द कंट्री विच हैव अ प्रीवियस मिलिट्री रिलेशन लाइक नेपाल, so we allow them for this cadre and all. They have different cadre. They can study in the NDA, National Defense Academy. They can become army officer, or they can join either their army or our army also.
तो सर ये थोड़ा तो ये नहीं हो सकता?
नहीं, ये स्ट्रेटेजिक टाई है और ये हम सबको अलाउ नहीं कर रहे जो हमारे कॉन्फिडेंट नेबर है. लाइक सी बॉर्डर अगर आप देखो तो इंडिया पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट है, पर इंडिया नेपाल बॉर्डर इतना स्ट्रिक्ट नहीं है क्योंकि वी डू नॉट हैव मच थ्रेट फ्रॉम नेपाल. सो वी अलाउ देम. ठीक है. देयर इज अ यू विल सी इन इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन व्हेन यू रीड देयर इज अ you can say there is a topic that is called Gujarat Doctrine. So international relation of India depends on two factors. One is Panchasheel policy of Nehru, ठीक है, and second factor is Gujarat Doctrine. So when you will read Gujarat Doctrine, there you will read that Gujarat has said, that is Gujarat has stated that some of the neighboring state we should do them favor because they are our neighbor. If suppose think of a situation, if we do not doing any favor to Nepal, Bangladesh, or this smaller neighbor Bhutan and all, even Bhutan also they join in that. So if we do not doing any favors to them, they will go to our enemy like China, right? So in such scenario we have to do some favor और वी डू नॉट एक्सपेक्ट रिटर्न. गुजरात ने साफ तौर पे कहा कि हमको इनकी मेहनत मदद करनी चाहिए और हमको इनसे बदले में कुछ चाहिए भी नहीं, बिकॉज दे आर आवर नेबर. एंड अगर हम इनकी सपोर्ट करेंगे तो वी वुड हैव अ गुड रिलेशंस विद देम एंड वी हैव अ इंटरनेशनल प्रेजेंस ड्यू टू दैट आल्सो. और अनदर फैक्टर इज दैट कि सपोज नेपाल, चाइना इज बिल्डिंग डैम इन श्रीलंका, दे आर कंट्रोलिंग ओवर नेपाल, सो दे विल बी सराउंडिंग अस फ्रॉम ऑल फोर साइड्स एंड वी विल हैविंग अ बिगर थ्रेट. So instead of going for a bigger threat, this is called a diplomatic tie. इसको हम diplomatic tie कहते हैं कि we are allowing them for reading in our National Defense Academy, but we keep a very strict eye on them so that they cannot do any harm to our country. So it's just a strategic tie between two countries like India, Nepal, India, Bhutan, where we allow their men to study in IMA and National Defense Academy and pass with the flying colors. So it is nothing wrong, and neither it is like something which is not in news of government. They know about it. They have a complete vigil over there. But since we have a good relation with these neighbors, so we have to go like that only.
Sir, it is like कि हम भी वहाँ पे जाके मुझे आर्मी का training दे सकते
No.
हैं।
See, वही मैं आपको कहा ना कि you cannot expect everything in return, right? They are smaller nations. Even Bangladesh is a nation which is created by us, right? So a smaller nation, we should give them some favor. Okay, we give sometimes we give them a huge amount of loan without any interest. Even the bigger nation, which is bigger than us, like suppose we are doing some bullet train project, Japan is giving us a loan without interest or some 4-year interest free loans are like that. So a bigger nation than us, like from us in perspective of economics, they are favoring us, right? So if we are bigger nation from some other neighboring country, so we should favor them. It's the international tie, right? It should go like this only. We should not be living in a cell कि हमारा country है हम ही रहेगा. तो इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन जब आप पढ़ेंगे वहां पे आपको गुजराल डॉक्ट्रिन पढ़ने को मिलेगा. गुजराल डॉक्ट्रिन यू विल रीड अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग कि व्हाई their army we are giving them army training. Sometimes we also help them to different other trainings and perspective. Even we have tie up like JNU and all. We have some seats for some international student in JNU and other medical research. Similarly, we have a tie with Russia and Ukraine for medical exam. If you are remembering about Russia Ukraine war, so many medical students stranded there because we have tie with them. So many medical students can go there and read medical that is course, medical course there. So these course tie up officers, that is you talk about SSB or army officers tie up. This tie up we have internationally with several countries. It depends on which country we have that tie up. We generally when we do such type of tie up, we keep in mind that there should not be no any security threat and all. Okay. Thank you. Any other question? Thank you.